This is a reason why a toast was invented. It's a homemade pecan milk chocolate spread.
We'll start with the pecans. The reason I chose pecans is because I really like them and they blend very easily into a smooth paste. That makes them perfect for this recipe and you don't need any special equipment. The next ingredient is homemade dulce de leche. You can enjoy it on its own as a spread for a toast or stirred into yogurt. But today it's going into our pecan and milk chocolate spread. So let's make it. We'll start by roasting the pecans. Spread them onto a baking tray and bake them for 15 to 20 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius. Now you can see they're nicely roasted. They should have a beautiful dark color on the outside and they should also be nicely roasted all the way through. This helps release much more aroma, brings out the flavor of the pecans and gives the spread a deep, rich pecan taste. Now let's make the dulce de leche. Since we'll be reducing it to a final weight of 450 grams, the first thing you need to do is write down the weight of the saucepan you're using. As you can see, my saucepan weighs 1298 grams, so I simply write it down. Then, whenever I put it back on the scale, I just subtract the weight of the pan. This is a handy method, especially in a professional kitchen. Now add the sugar, a pinch of salt and a small amount of baking soda. That's 200 grams, and then pour in 1 liter of milk. Then place it on the stove and start cooking. The slower you cook it, the lighter the color will be and the less caramelized it becomes. The faster you cook it, the darker it gets and the stronger the caramel flavor will be. Here you can see what mine looks like after 35 minutes. I cooked it very gently to get this beautiful light golden color, checking the weight from time to time to see how much it has reduced. At the end, I always blend it with an emulsion blender until it's completely smooth. Then transfer it into another container and set it aside. By now the pecans have cooled, so we'll leave the dulce de leche aside and move on to the pecans. Place all the pecans into a food processor or powerful blender. A regular stick blender won't be enough for this job. Add all the pecans and blend them into a smooth paste. How smooth you make it is entirely up to you. We'll blend it a few more times later, but as you can see, all the natural oil has already been released and the pecan paste has become beautifully fluid. Now it's time to melt the chocolate. You already know this method. Bring some water to a boil, turn off the heat, place the bowl with the chocolate over the pan and let it melt slowly. If you have a thermometer, the ideal temperature is from 40 to 45 degrees Celsius. Now we'll make the base emulsion for our spread. Blend the pecan paste while slowly pouring in the melted milk chocolate. If you can't pour it in continuously like I do, simply divide the chocolate into 3 or 4 portions. Add 1 portion, blend it, then add the next one and blend it again. The goal is to combine the natural oil from the pecans with the milk chocolate and create a smooth, stable base. Once everything is fully combined, add the dulce de leche and blend it well until it's completely incorporated into the spread. To finish, add the salt and the cocoa powder. The cocoa gives the spread a slightly deeper chocolate flavor and it also darkens the color just a little. At this point, I like to keep blending for another 5 minutes to get the smoothest texture possible. You can blend it even longer if you like, just make sure the temperature doesn't go above 50 degrees Celsius. And that's what our finished spread looks like. Now simply transfer it into a container and let it crystallize in the fridge. Before using it, take it out of the fridge and let it sit at room temperature for about 10 to 15 minutes. If it ever feels slightly grainy, don't worry. You can simply blend it again and let it crystallize one more time. Or just give it a good stir with a spoon. Here you can see the texture after about 15 minutes out of the fridge. It's beautifully spreadable, smooth and creamy. Now all that's left to do is toast your favorite bread and spread on a generous layer of this fantastic homemade pecan spread. It's low in sweetness, full of pecan flavor, and I really hope you'll enjoy it. So see you in the next video. Ciao.